Another day, another commitment for the Georgia Bulldogs, who are on a roll on the recruiting trail. They're not missing on anyone right now. They pick up their third commitment in the 22 class this week alone, and it's another big one. Four-star Jordan James, one of the top running backs in the entire South, 5'10", 200 pounds. He's not a burner, not the fastest guy, not the strongest guy, but he is as productive as it gets. He has incredible balance. Vision, knows how to break tackles, can catch the ball out of the backfield. There's a lot to like about this guy. Again, solid four-star back, and if you've been watching these videos, if you've been on Dawg Post, you know that Georgia needs to take two running backs in this class. They just took one in the 21 cycle in Lavassier Carroll out of IMG Academy. They need to take two, and Jordan James is a guy that they've been on for a while now. They recruited him, or have been recruiting him since May when they offered, and he turned in a monster junior season last year. I've got the numbers right here. In 13 games, he actually led Oakland High School to the state championship game last year, undefeated season, Tennessee State title, 182 carries, 1,752 yards, and 26 touchdowns. It does not get more productive than that. 9.6 yards a carry, 135 yards a game. This guy does a little bit of it all, but he saved his best game for the very end. This was in the championship game against Brentwood Academy. I don't live in Tennessee, but I know that is a big-time program up there. 22 carries, 231 yards, 6 touchdowns in the state title game. He's just productive. He's a guy who could put the team on his back. He can get tough yards when he needs to. If there's a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, you can give it to him, and he can probably make something happen. But eventually he is going to break one. He broke long run after long run all year and just had some monster games. Now, they do run the ball a lot. They barely throw the ball where he's at. And if I had Jordan James, if I were a high school coach and had this guy, I'd be running it with him as much as I could. But just a few games, he rushed 149 yards in one game, 196, 164, 203, 107, 160, and 231. So the last two games he played in against two of the best teams supposedly in the state, he rushed for 160 and 231. So when the game's on the line, when it matters, if they need a tough yard, he's going to get the ball. If they need a score, he's going to get the ball. So there's a reason Del McGee went after him as hard as he did. I mean, this is running back university. Every running back prospect tells me that when Georgia offers, it is a big deal. And they don't just offer everyone. You have to be really, really good to not only earn an offer, but to earn the trust of the Georgia staff and make it to where they're consistently recruiting you. Just getting offered, yes, that's a big deal, but they might offer a few more guys and actually talk and recruit to them. But they've been on Jordan James for a while now. Again, he's not a 5-star guy. He's not the flashiest running back, but I do think that he changes directions really well for someone 5'10", 200 pounds. He's got good size. He's got good muscle on him. But he does move pretty well. I think he has good feet that help him to change direction well, like I said earlier, and move laterally. But he's got good burst. He's a good open field runner. A lot of times defensive backs will trip these bigger running backs up down the field, but he's a guy who can make the guy in the secondary miss in the open field. Once he gets going, he still is able to move a little bit and change direction. So he can take off. He can score anytime he touches the ball, but it's the tough yards every single time he gets it that what makes him stand out. But the balance is there, man. You can't just tackle this guy up high or around the feet. If you try to tackle him around the feet, you better trip him up because he's going to stand on his feet. He doesn't get knocked down too easily. Rarely gets brought down by the first guy. Usually takes a swarm of guys, defenders, to bring him down. So a strong runner. Again, he's got 200 plus pounds on him. I think that's right where he probably should be. But another really, really good pickup. This is a solid number 2. I mean, this is a guy who would be the number 1 running back option for a lot of teams out there. I do think he's the top 10 back in the country. If not, he's right outside of that. But Georgia needs to, and this is a great one to get on board first. The other guy that they're recruiting hard, obviously, Branson Robinson, a guy who really does check all the boxes: speed, power, athleticism, balance, vision, breakaway speed. Branson Robinson has that, and dude is just jacked, just so chiseled. doesn't have an ounce of fat on him. It looks like a weight room warrior, very Nick Chubb-like in the way he works and the way he's dedicated to not only being the best player he can on the field, but in the weight room too. So if they get Jordan James to go along with Branson Robinson, Georgia has another 1-2 punch. And it's kind of what they do. They had Todd Gurley and Keith Marshall. They had Nick Chubb and Sony Michel. And it looks like they're going to try to get two big, powerful backs again, and Jordan James is one of them. So, again, he's not Keith Marshall fast. He's probably not Todd Gurley fast. But he is fast enough to make big plays and break off a big run or two, even in the SEC. Again, he was going against quality opponents. He wasn't playing against scrubs up there in his region in Tennessee, and he still ran over just about every opponent all the way through the season and led them to a state championship. And again, what he did when it mattered most in the biggest games when they needed it, again, he rushes for 230 yards and finds the end zone 6 times in the state championship game. Dude's a winner, and he's a leader, and there's just a lot to like about his game. I wouldn't worry too much about his ranking, but because I know Georgia's used to 5-star guys coming in and out, and maybe they might land another 5-star running back in Branson Robinson later in this class. But Jordan James is a solid 4-star guy. He's a back that I think teams would love to have. And if you're a Georgia fan watching this, go watch the film. It is impressive, and I think Georgia fans should be happy with this commitment. This kid can play, and Georgia wouldn't have recruited him if they didn't think he could. So I think this makes 11 commitments for Georgia so far. They're off to an incredible start, one of the best starts I've seen them have to a class in the Kirby Smart era. Only the second commitment on offense, joining 5-star quarterback Gunnar Stockton. So they're loading up on defense. Now I do think you'll start to see some more offensive commitments jump on board. And for more on that, make sure you head over to Dawg Post. We've got everything there. For more on Jordan James, Branson Robinson, all the other offensive targets, we know them all. And that's what we're here to do on Dawg Post. I want to find the quote he gave me because, of course, he made sure to tell Dawg Post that he was going to go to Georgia and wanted to tell us why. So he basically said, where was it? LFL Georgia prepares you for life after football while also running a consistently top 5 program. I think UGA is a great place. So that's a quick quote I wanted to share with y'all. The rest are over on Dawg Post, so make sure you check that out. Again, big-time commitment, 4-star Jordan James has decided to become a Georgia Bulldog. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next video coming up right now, and I will see you over on the website.